Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Steph and I'm super excited that you guys joined me today for the first video in the series that I'm starting on my channel called Tea Time with Steph. And here is my beautiful cup of tea. Today we are drinking Tazo Baby. Okay, y'all probably can't see that, but it's Tazo and it's vanilla caramel. Y'all probably can't see that either, but just trust me, it is delicious honey. Y'all, a few weeks ago I was drinking Great Value brand tea. Okay, it was a struggle a few weeks ago, but now we're back. We're back to Tazo, okay? Let me, I know you. Let me. Whew. Y'all, we have a lot to talk about today. Our tea time topic is, oh, by the way, if you don't know what Tea Time with Steph is, I explain it below in the introduction video to my channel, and I also did a mini about me tag explaining more about myself as well. So check that out so you guys can kind of know everything that's going on. But if you haven't checked it out, pretty much Tea Time with Steph is just a time where I bring up a topic. It can be like a question or whatever, and I tell you guys like kind of like how I feel, my opinions on the topic, and then you guys continue the discussion by letting me know if you agree, if you disagree, what are your opinions. And it's a super cool way to just discuss really relevant stuff. And so the reason why I titled this video Mastering the Art of Doing You is because I feel like even if you haven't said the phrase, you've probably heard it either on social media or you've probably heard one of your friends say it, and the phrase is, do you boo boo. And I feel like when people, tell you to do you, they're usually encouraging you to, live life on your own terms, right? To do what makes you happy, to stay true to you. And I love that. But now that I think about it a little bit more, I'm kind of confused as to what that looks like for me. It's definitely different for everyone. But what does that look like for you? What do you guys think? I feel like doing you is when you really decide, hey, like I am just gonna take responsibility for my life and I'm gonna live it the way that is more authentic and true to me. And I'm also gonna do that without the criticism of others impacting me or hindering me. That's when I feel like you definitely have mastered the art of doing you. And like, while I know that we can probably all agree that that's definitely the best way to live, I am having a little bit of difficulty doing that. And I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys find it difficult to like do you in the middle of criticism? Which for some of y'all, some of y'all are bold, and I know that you guys do not care. Y'all are always doing you. You guys wear what you want to wear. You guys say what you want to say. You do what you want to do, and you don't really care what anyone has to say about it. And that's really inspiring, and that's awesome. But I am not there yet. While I'm definitely not the most confident person ever in every area of my life, and I'm definitely striving to like do me and follow my own rules, even in the midst of criticism, and follow God no matter what other people have to say about me, it's definitely difficult. And I think two things that I constantly remind myself is, number one, like just be prepared for the criticism. Like no matter what you do, there's going to be criticism. I thought that once I'm doing the right thing and once I'm really just living life the way I really feel like I need to live it, I can explain that to others and they're gonna understand and support me. But when it really hit me that life does not work that way, when I was kind of deciding what to do and where to go for college, and I decided I'm gonna go to Southeastern University, and I really prayed about it and I felt like that was the best decision for me at the time. And my parents were just not feeling it. Really, a lot of people weren't feeling it. Like, I think I had like 2 people who were like, oh yeah, you should go for it. I still let the criticism of others dictate my actions. I don't know why. I literally was like, you know what, I'm not going to Southeastern anymore. I'm just gonna follow what I think everyone else is telling me to do, and I'm gonna sign up for community college. And when I went to orientation, literally, bro, I saw everyone from high school. I mean, like everyone. And I was like, this is literally high school 2.0. And I just felt like, man, I don't want to do this again. Like, I did this for 4 years. I just feel like I'm not growing. I need something new. I need to challenge myself and expose myself to something new. And that's when I really decided, okay, like, I'm really going to do what God is leading me to do. And that's it. Like, I don't care what anyone else has to say. Even if they have valid concerns, I'm going to follow me. And it was definitely difficult. But I mean, when we look at the life of Jesus, like, he definitely faced criticism. He was kind of one of the perfect example of living wisely, making right decisions at every point in his life. And he still faced criticism. As a matter of fact, I think he faced one of the worst criticisms that someone in ministry could ever face, which is literally the Pharisees were telling him that the reason why he was doing so well, the reason why he was doing these amazing miracles and being able to heal people was because he was empowered by the devil, was because he wasn't actually following God. He was following demons. He was possessed by demons. And we know that Jesus was, for a fact, not demon possessed. He was doing everything right, and he still faced criticism. And so that is definitely something I need to remind myself, is that even though I might be doing what's right, I still have to prepare myself for the criticism of others. And another thing that I constantly have to remind myself is that I think it's not necessarily the presence of criticism that should really dictate my action. Really the content of the criticism that should dictate a change in our actions or a change in the decisions that we're making. And I think when we look at Jesus's life, definitely the content of the criticism that he was receiving was completely just invalid, right? We know that the only reason that Jesus was doing such amazing miracles, was teaching with such wisdom, was because he was empowered by God and because he was God himself. So of course, he didn't let the criticism from the Pharisees really change what he was doing, change how he was living his life, because he knew that the content was completely ridiculous. And I think there's a lot of times where we'll be facing criticism and we still don't change because we feel like, oh, they're just hating, or, oh, it's ridiculous. But I think it really could be positive for us to step back and to think about what the content of the criticism is. There's been so many times in my life where I've literally been doing the wrong thing and I've gotten criticism and I've thought about it and the content was valid. It was literally biblical. Like, it was helpful to me. It was beneficial. And I changed my actions. But on the contrary, there's been so many times where literally, like, I was doing the right thing. I was doing, like, I was making such positive impact. Like, I was doing everything right. And I was getting so much criticism, and the content of the criticism was like so ridiculous. And it still is definitely discouraging when you're receiving criticism in general. But just remember that it's not the presence of criticism that should stop you. It's the content that really should influence what you're doing and how you're doing it. The reason why they were criticizing Jesus is because they were so out of touch with God that they didn't even recognize God when he was standing right in front of them in the form of Jesus. And it's amazing because they were saying that he wasn't God, he wasn't divine at all, and he was actually demonic because they didn't have a true, authentic relationship with God. And that's why they were able to criticize Jesus so freely. A lot of times when you're going to be getting criticism from people, and it's because you're going to be living your life with certain qualities that they don't recognize or understand. For example, you might be living your life with wisdom, and someone is giving you criticism because they don't even understand what it looks like to live life with wisdom. And so they don't understand what you're doing. They don't get why you're making the decisions that you're making, and they don't approve, right? Or you'll be living your life super responsibly, making really smart financial decisions, and people will be looking at you like, what are you doing? Because they don't understand what it means to live life responsibly, to save, or to put money away instead of blowing money fast. I don't think that's always the reason for criticism. I think there's some times where people don't really put that much thought into criticism. They're just negative and they just really truly don't like you, or there's so many reasons for criticism. But I think a lot of times people just don't, they're just so out of touch with the values that you display in your life that they don't get you. I really want to encourage you today, don't let the criticism stop you, especially from people who don't have your best interest in heart, who aren't really following God, who aren't giving you biblically based and sound criticism. Because I have to remind myself of that every single day. There's been so many times where I have not made the decisions that are best for me because I was listening to the criticism of people that I shouldn't have been listening to. And because I was so discouraged by the presence of criticism that I didn't stop and evaluate what the content of the criticism actually was and if it was actually helpful. And I don't want any of us to live life like that. We can't afford to live life like that. We have to continue doing us. And we have to stay strong in the face of criticism. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I definitely want to hear your feedback. That's pretty much all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next talk.